This is probably not totally your expertise, but can you just tell us what you guys hope to see and achieve tomorrow in the scrimmage?
Same thing tomorrow as every day. We have high expectations for the guys. We hope to see a physical style of play, guys making plays, and we hope to see retention of what we learned throughout practices. We've got a lot of the playbook in. We have a lot of understanding of what drills should look like. So we just hope to see that growth.
You know how many plays or what the format will be?
I do not know the plays or the format. My guys don't either, and they're just prepared to play anything. They're expected to make plays no matter what's called.
Early on, there were a lot of big plays by your receiving core, especially the new guys, but they seem to be a little bit harder to come by in the last couple of days. What do you attribute that to?
We see deep plays, we see short plays. We're working on things we're installing. Some days we're installing screens, some days we're installing more heavy run game, different personnel, different formations. So, whatever plays are called, we expect our guys to make plays, and be aggressive to the ball. And if it's called our way to go make a block, we're expected to make that block as well. So we have different things installed, throughout camp. Some days we have focused on the deep ball, some days we're focused on shorter routes. So, we see a little bit of everything out here.
Okay.
Who are you looking at that you're seeing a big receiving core? 2 or 3 that are jumping out that have had good camps.
I think the thing about our receiver core right now, guys flash at different times. You see Starling making plays out here, Tobias and Tron are making plays every day. Keon Graves has been a good addition to the room. Those guys are flying around, and we see flashes every day. So now the challenge is to be consistent. Who's going to do that every day? Not just one day, not just here and there, but every day. So we're looking to see consistency out of the group, and we're looking for that leadership to continue to emerge.
Is this the fastest receiver group you've coached?
I would say yes. When we look back on the spring and we look at at the season from last year, what we needed was just flat out speed. So having additions like Mikey Matthews, Josiah Martin, Jonathan Brady, Keon Graves, Tobias Merriweather, all those guys can flat out run. So we needed speed. We can mix those intermediate routes in there. They're great at the top of the routes. They're good running. So we're mixing in the speed with the physical ability and putting it all together.
A lot of times faster receivers aren't necessarily known for their blocking ability or their willingness to block. How are these guys in the physicality area?
No block, no rock. All right, if our guys are running fast, I love it, but we got to do our job. Do our one-on-one on every single play. So if it's dialed up for you to go run a post and score, we do that. If it's dialed up for you to block for a screen, you got to do that. Guys are selfless in this group, and they know what it takes. They know they got to do their part. Coach Blesh is a mastermind calling the offense, so we put guys in different spots, and we have a lot of different responsibilities for all of them, and they're all up for the challenge.
A lot of times guys in the past might hear that, but if there's not enough good receivers to go around, they may not necessarily take it to heart. But you guys look like you have 10+ guys that could easily be out there and catch significant balls. So you obviously have to take that seriously.
Absolutely, and those guys can all go. The one thing I love is that they challenge each other. Some guy might be better blocking, than one of their boys is better receiving or at the top of the routes or catching the ball. So what I love is just iron sharpens iron. There's a competitive nature in our room. If he's better at releases, I'm gonna take something out of his book and I'm gonna apply it to myself. So guys are doing a great job doing that, and they understand they got to do their part every single play.
Monroe is a guy who was very physical last year. Is there a guy that's kind of taken his place as a physical guy?
You know what? Monroe had a lot on his plate, and we loved it. We could always call on him to go get a job done. What I'm challenging the guys this year is to not have one guy to do it. There's not one guy that's going to run a shallow route. There's not one guy that we put in for cracks. So you got to do it. Tobias is great. Running post routes, you guys probably noticed that. But he's also very physical and has great technique on the perimeter blocking. So the more these guys can do, the more they're going to play, the more they're going to stay on the field.
What made you decide that you wanted to go pursue Keon?
I've known Keon for a long time. I've known of him, and I just like his ability. He can play inside, he can play outside. He's physical on the perimeter. He's quick. He just fits in our offense well. So he's a guy that, when we identify what we need in the room, he's a guy that really jumped out. So as soon as he hit the portal, he's a guy we pursued right away, and having a relationship with him previously helped out. And then understanding him off the field as well. I needed some leadership in the room. He's a guy that's been around some big-time ball at Ohio State, so he knows what it takes. So right away, he's somebody that flashed that would fit, and he's proven that now.
We're talking to Mason today. How would you describe his path up to this point?
Mason's focused right now. If you talk about striving through adversity, he's the definition of it. He's seen everything. He has some great leadership. He knows his role. He brings along the young guys, and he's on a mission right now. He wants to prove what he can do and what he knows he can do. So he's doing that every single day and proving. He's picking apart one thing in his game that he needs to work on every day, and he's doing that. So we see constant rise, constant work out of him, and we love his leadership.
How does Tron fit into the picture? Because it looked like he was playing a lot of the slot today. How does he kind of fit in the overall picture for you guys?
Absolutely. Well, Tron's a guy that is really self-made. You know, came here as a walk-on, had one opportunity to walk on at Dixie State. Glad he came here. And last year he made his name in the slot. You know, so we wanted to move him on the outside a little bit to work his ability, you know, work his releases, be physical, understand that he has that part of his game. We knew he could play the slot, so he's a guy that he knows the whole playbook. You know, he's great with the drawings, with the leadership in the meeting rooms. And then coming out here, it's easy to just put him in a slot, put him outside, move him around. So, you know, he's flashing the slot because that's where he's more natural. You know, so we're able to move him around. But that's when the offense gets dangerous, when we can put guys on the left side, right side in the slot. I teach concepts. We teach concepts as an offense, and it works out well because we can move guys around and make the defense guess.